Hi Libra, this is your horoscope for January 2019. It's a pleasure to be with you today. On the 1st of January, Mars, the male principle of drive and desire, goes into Aries in your 7th house of relationships. Now Aries is the sign that opposes your sign, and alarm bells are ringing already because Mercury in Aries says, I am not compromising, I'm doing exactly what I want. You've also got Uranus in Aries and your transiting rising sign in Aries all in your 7th. So the strongest elements at the beginning of January here are fire and earth, and you're going to be kind of unlike yourself here, and you're going to say, what have you done for me lately? I want this out of the relationship. I want to go on holiday, I want to do this, I want the relationship to be a certain way, and I'm not compromising on that. I'm making it my mission to get what I want, and if I don't get what I want, I'm willing to make major trouble. So the first couple of days in January, if you're fed up with your relationship and you haven't had the courage to leave it, it's going to be really easy to leave it in the new year. So if you've made if you've set the New Year's resolution that I'm going to get out of this horrible relationship, you'll really be able to do it in the first 4 days of January really easily. If you're in a relationship that you really value, but certain things about it annoy you and you compromise, really try and zip it in the first 4 days of January, because you're likely to say, shut up, I don't care what you think, let's do it my way, and to be really rude and really like assertive, and it's like, shut up, I don't want to hear your opinion, I don't care, see you later. And that's not conducive to a balanced and equal and harmonious relationship. On the 5th of January, we have a partial solar eclipse and a new moon in Capricorn. So check out the yearly horoscope that I did for your sign Libra for the whole of 2019, because there are a couple of eclipses in this year, and eclipses, the effects of them last for about 6 months. So you're going to have 2 eclipses here in January, and then later on in the year it gives you the overall theme for the year, but this one on the 5th of January happens in your 4th house. So you've got the new moon sucking in lots of Capricorn energy. Saturn is there, which is about security. The transiting midheaven is there, work. Transiting Pluto is there, let's transform this and make it better, or let's change this. So everything, the energy being pulled in is all about working on your relationships. You've still got Mars and Uranus in your 7th house. So this perspective of the self, and am I happy in this relationship, or should I move on, is going to become crystal clear to you. So if you're in a relationship and you've been wondering about it, am I happy, am I not happy? You really start to understand what it's about, and if there is light at the end of the tunnel, if there's a future for you. If you don't see a future, this is the time where you can actually have the confidence and the ability not to see both sides of the argument, but to say, hey, what about me? I don't feel loved here. I feel like you're just working and I'm just something like an accessory for you, and I don't want to be that anymore. If you're in a relationship that is great and you do see a lot of potential there, then you really have what it takes to focus on that relationship, to cement it, to ask him or her to move in with you, to get married, to really take someone you adore and love and who you see a future with, and to marry them, to cement this thing and to make that person part of your family. So it goes both ways, and this is interrupted as an eclipse, so it lasts for the first 6 months. On the 5th of January as well, we've got Mercury, the communication planet, going into Capricorn in your 4th house of family. So this is what you're thinking about: family relationships, Are they good? Are they not good? What should I get rid of? What shouldn't I get rid of? It's like when you do a Facebook cull, you know? When you get rid of all the people who yeah, I think you know what I mean. On the 7th of January, we have Venus, the planet of love, beauty and creativity, and your ruler going into Sagittarius in your 3rd house of communication. So you're going to be crystal clear about what you want. It creates a grand trine, which is an area of talent, with Mars, me, and the North Node in Cancer at 27 degrees. So the love that you're most concerned with is the love you have for yourself, the love you have for your work, and the love you have in a relationship, and whether it's there or not. And if it's not there, you're going to really be decisive to say over. And if it is there, you're going to work and do everything you possibly can to make this the best, most wonderful relationship ever. So, happy Libras who are with partners they absolutely adore and love. You guys are going to have a great first 6 months here in January, especially around the 7th. Now that goes on until the 13th of January. On the 13th, Jupiter, the lucky planet, begins to square Neptune, the planet of water, dreams, intuition, manifestation, which is in your 6th house of work, daily routine, and personal health. So Jupiter is good luck. Neptune is sometimes makes things a bit foggy. You've also got Chiron sitting there. So you're really focused on communicating and moving forward, and what you're not so interested in is real work, caring about your health, looking at your daily routine. You're much more interested in learning how to love yourself and working at your relationships, and work and career progress and all of that stuff. There's absolutely no interest here at the beginning of the year. So if you're someone who wants to start a new business, you're not really being supported in January. What the luckiest area is are your relationships, mending broken relationships, working to make them better, realizing again which relationships have a future and which ones don't. And I mean, you can look at work later on in February. So if you're setting new year resolutions, I would suggest that the resolution is about, you know, who are the toxic people in my life and who are the people in my life that I really want to have more time with, spend more time with. And that is going to be the area where you succeed and have the most luck. Jupiter and Neptune are going to square each other 3 times until September. So this question is going to come up again and again about, do I need to communicate my needs about relationships, and really work isn't my priority. For the first 6 months, you Libras can sort out your relationships, and also relationships that work and that do have a future, you can make them the best they can possibly be. So the next influence is on the 21st of January. We have a total lunar eclipse, and it's a full moon in Leo. It's also a supermoon, so it's much bigger than a regular moon, and that happens in your 11th house of relationships, networking, and hopes and dreams when it comes to your relationships. So again, this big fiery ball is in the sign of Leo, which is a fire sign. So you're going to become even more passionate about my relationships. What am I bringing in? Is there love for me? Am I being taken care of? Am I being given compliments? Or is it just me doing all the work? And I don't think you're going to put up with you doing all the work anymore, and you become a lot less compromising than you are usually, and you really put your foot down, which is great. Don't be afraid to do that. Again, it lasts for 6 months, so look at how you can tidy up your relationship life, because having supportive and inspiring and lovely people in your life is going to make your life much richer. And you're a social sign anyway, so be surrounded by lovely people. If you love glamorous, exciting people, then make sure you're in that environment and that you get to shine as brightly as you want to. On the 22nd, Jupiter and Venus conjunct. They create a grand trine with your moon in Leo and your Mars in Aries. So this is the day to make the proposal. Will you please marry me? Will you please move in with me? If it's a good relationship. It's also the day to say, I need to be independent. I need to live my own life. You have screwed me over for the last time. There's the door, take it. So it depends on where you're at, but really it's about knowing exactly what your feelings are instead of being wishy-washy about them and saying, okay, this is the reality, this is what's going to happen, and I dictate what happens. Thank you very much. On the 24th of January, Mercury, the communication planet, moves into Aquarius in your 5th house, and it joins your transiting midheaven and your Sun in Aquarius in your 5th house. So, from the 24th of January up until the end of January, yes, you're still influenced by the eclipse for 6 months, but this last week of January, it's kind of ruled by air, which is your sign, and you start to think again, and you're like, well, what can I do to be of service to other people, and how can I help people? So the focus goes away from you, and what I also think is that you wouldn't be thinking of helping other people if you'd had a terrible month with people. You know, if you'd been like fired and beat up and broken up with in January, you wouldn't then on the 24th say, oh, people are so glorious, I'm going to go work at the soup kitchen and help them because I just love people so much. You wouldn't. You'd be like... So, reading between the lines here, I really think it's a fabulous time and you make good decisions about your relationships, and rather than ending a bunch of relationships, I really think you bring in a lot of good new relationships, because that eclipse happens on the North Node. It's about sucking things in, and I think you're going to be a lot more happy and you're going to be pleased as punch when it comes to your relationships here in 2019, especially January. And your usual indecisiveness is totally gone. You're going to be crystal clear and hard as nails, which sometimes you have to be. So have a wonderful month. Have an assertive, amazing month. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. If you like my videos, please subscribe, and I'll speak to you next month.